My first question I wanted to ask you was, can you please tell the audience a little bit about yourself and describe some of the projects you've worked on at SSAI?
Thank you so much, Jason. It's my honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Guoqing Wang. I'm a senior research scientist with SSAI and currently serving as the DAAC scientist for NASA's Ocean Biological Distributed Active Archive Center. So before stepping into this role, so I worked on projects like developing machine learning algorithms to generate global maps of phytoplankton pigment. So I also contribute to the long-term biological variability monitoring of the Southern Ocean. So in that, I was supporting the ecosystem studies in the remote sensing in this remote and challenging region. Southern Ocean is a very productive region and very active, biologically very active. So currently, I'm involved in a project, focused on the global detection of harmful algal blooms. That hopefully we can provide some information for the stakeholders, including those people working on the fisheries and etc. So we are focusing on the satellite data to help them detect the potential harmful algal blooms that might cause influence or losses to their fisheries. Yeah, so I'm very excited about this project.
Wow, that's awesome to hear, Goching. And I definitely appreciate you breaking down some of the projects that you are currently involved in. And I'm currently in graduate school right now. And I remember I took a graduate school class where I did an experiment looking at harmful algal blooms. So
Ooh, cool.
that's it's definitely very fascinating to see. And I had no idea your work was associated with the Southern Ocean, which is very, very cool as well. So I definitely, like I said, appreciate you highlighting that even further. And Goching, what I wanted to do was I wanted to transition on to my next question that I wanted to ask you, which was how exactly does your research using remote sensing and bio-optical data from the Ocean Biology DAAC help us better understand phytoplankton and their role in addressing environmental challenges?
Well, that's a very, very good question. So I think that touch base of, why I'm here at NASA and why I'm doing this research is definitely a great question. So, remote sensing and the data we provide is called bio-optical data from the OB-DAC. They allow us to observe the ocean and inland water systems at the global scale. These include the regions that we are not able to access due to they are too far away or because of safety concerns. But with this satellite remote sensing data, we are able to have a global view of the water system. And this broad perspective give us, a wider insights into marine ecosystems and how they are changing over time. And this phytoplankton, as you mentioned, in the ocean or the freshwater ecosystems, they play a fundamental role in, the food web. They contribute significantly to the global carbon cycles. For example, the satellite-based chlorophyll data has been used in the fisheries by identifying, productive regions to guide the fishing boat to where to go, to catch enough fish, right? So more recently, we have been working on a project that use this data to detect harmful algal blooms, as we just mentioned. These harmful algal blooms, they can, cause troubles to the marine life or the fresh ecosystem life. It threats the drinking water supplies and kills fish and cause the public health issues, right? So because of my scientific background, so as a DAC scientist, so I have been serving as a bridge between our users. Many of our users are, scientists and also stakeholders like the fisheries, the people. And from our DAC side, those are mainly, DAC engineers who develop tools and, produce these products. So my role is to make sure our user needs are being met. make sure what we provide is what, the user needs. So I organized this user working group. It's currently made up of 12 scientists across relative disciplines or different research backgrounds. So we meet regularly to gather feedback or data, tools, and services, including the products that we provide. So this has been a very active and very productive user working group.
Guoqing, I really appreciate you breaking down even further in terms of your team and in terms of what it is that you and your team are currently doing right now. It's very fascinating to hear. And I like how you mentioned earlier as well how you are using machine learning as well in relation to your work as well, because definitely we've seen huge trends in, AI and machine learning as well. So, and just out of curiosity in relation to your work, just as a side question as well, how exactly is your and your team's work making an impact on a global scale? Like, is it impacting national security in any way? Is it like saving lives? Could you expand a little bit further on that?
Oh, that's a great question, So the current project, as I talked, is about the global harmful algal bloom detection, right? So I think we have some other kind of related projects, it's called the SCION, but it's led by some of our scientists in the OER lab, the Ocean Ecological Lab, but they are using our DAAC data so that these projects have been providing information regarding where the harmful algal bloom is happening. And such information has been, as I heard, have been used by the USAID to guide them to which region they should go, to further provide, services or, to help the local either residents or the government to figure out a way to deal with those, blooms, harmful blooms that causing trouble to the local government and the residents, right? So, and the fisheries has been, as I mentioned, the global chlorophyll map has been used by the fisheries, I think in decades. Our previous lab chief, he used to be, on the fishing boat. And he said, in the olden days, when there is no such guidance as like a global map of chlorophyll, right? So it's kind of difficult for the fishing boat to decide which part should they go, right? They could drive a long way to a particular region, but just figure out there is not that many fish, right? But with now the global chlorophyll data, so they are able to identify which part of the ocean is very productive. Productive, that means there's enough phytoplankton as the food for the fish, right? So the fishermen can, drive the boat to that region. And I think this also helps the government to make policies to define, how much like a fisheries they can expect each year to make sure, the fishermen are not exceeding particular the catching capitals, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, Guoqing, and that's awesome to hear that government agencies are using you and your team's work and data in terms of letting communities know in terms of where some of these harmful algal blooms are, and to also, locate some good areas for the ocean, but to also, make others aware that, we need to do something about this because, as you mentioned, harmful algal blooms definitely impacts our marine ecosystem and it impacts the quality of our water. So that's very nice to hear that there's government agencies using our work and our data even further from you and your team. So, so I really appreciate you highlighting that as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Guoqing, my final question I wanted to ask you was, and this is a fun question, just as a side note, but the question was, since you spoke about phytoplankton and their importance for the marine ecosystem, if you could be any type of phytoplankton for a day, which one would you be and why?
I would like to be a diatom. They are, yeah, diatoms, they are quite common in the water, and they can, thrive almost anywhere in the ocean or in the fresh water. And, they make especially fascinating in their beautiful silica shells. So they produce this kind of silica shells. It's kind of like the natural glass that they protect them. They sometimes connect each other together to make a long chain, and they form different shapes. They are kind of like the natural beauty in the ocean. It's fascinating to me because they are so common, but they are so special, and they are so beautiful as well. And also, the shells they produce are not only protect them, but also make diatoms one of the most, really stunning microorganisms in the water. And they, through these, after they die, they take the silicons down to the bottom of the ocean. That makes the carbon cycle and the silica cycles possible in the ocean. So I admire, how something so small can be so strong and resilient and quietly essential to aquatic ecosystems. So yeah, I like a diatom.
Wow, that's awesome to hear, Guoqing, and I appreciate you highlighting about that. I know there's many different types and species of phytoplankton out there. So, and I remember in my graduate school class learning about diatom phytoplankton. So they're all just very fascinating, like you said, and they all do remarkable things, and they each have a purpose in terms of
Yeah,
being around our marine ecosystems
right,
as well.
exactly.
So I really appreciate you highlighting that in relation to what kind of phytoplankton you'd want to be for a day if given the opportunity. Well, Guoqing, with that, again, I just wanted to thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to talk with me today. You are truly a rock star who is really making an impact and a difference globally, and everybody around the world is going to continue to be fascinated by the great work that you and your team are currently doing.
Thank you so much.
Abs-
You're so kind. Thank you so much for the kind words. Yep.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. And, please definitely keep us posted and keep us informed in terms of additional insights and discoveries that you and your team currently make further with your work. And we cannot wait to highlight it.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much for this opportunity for me to share, yeah, the works that we have been doing. There are more like a fun things and coming. So I think once, this global harmful algal bloom thingy work is done, I think we can share more information regarding that. So hopefully, the users and stakeholders can start benefiting from that project.
Absolutely. I think that's very well said, Guoqing. And I think, there's definitely going to be more advancements, coming. So again, we are very excited to see what comes in the future. So again, thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.